It's actually really common on any bike frame to get worn or stripped threads. So if you are looking at a used frame, it's one of those things that you really want to check out before you hand over the readies. But sometimes you find this happens on a beloved frame that you've done loads of miles on. So in the last few videos, we've probably been through the first half of this repair now. So if you haven't seen those, please go check them out. Otherwise, stay tuned and we're going to finish this repair off. Here's the new bottom bracket shell that we're going to braze in place. Now this is a cast item, so it's much better quality than the original pressed one that was in there in the first place, so it should last a lot longer. But first of all, we need to clean all the insides because we're going to be silver brazing, and you have to make sure everything's really nice and clean in order to get the silver braze to flow. And we're also going to clean up the edges of all the pots so that we get a nice shoreline when we braze it all together. So you may remember from the last video that this is as far as we got, so if you haven't seen that, go and watch it and you can see what we did to get here. So now we've got to get this bottom bracket shell into there, which sounds more difficult than it is. We can just open these tubes up and get them in, but first of all we need to flux the inside of the bottom bracket shell, and we need to flux all the ends of the tubes, and then we'll push the shell on. So we've got everything on the faceplate now, so we're going to align the seat tube first and tack that in place, and then we'll move on to doing the down tube. Then we'll go through the whole front triangle and make sure everything's in track and in the same plane as the faceplate. And then we'll be ready to start brazing the joints up. After we do each lug part, we're going to bring it back to the table and we're going to realign the frame, and we'll do that each time that we do those two lugs from the main triangle, and that'll make sure that things stay in line, which is it's always a good idea to have your one wheel following your front wheel following your back wheel. And then after that we'll move on to the chain stays, but with the chain stays we're going to be a bit more careful with the length of the chain stays being equal on both sides, otherwise your back wheel won't be quite in line. So as you can see there, we always braze with the frame in the vise so that the tubes can expand along their length, and then we avoid a lot of the stresses that get built up in the frame, which helps with its longevity, because when you build a frame in a jig, especially when you're welding one, you'll find that a lot of stress is built up into the frame, and when you cut through a tube, the whole thing just goes twang. But we've finished brazing all this bottom bracket now, and we're going to wash off all the flux and see what it looks like underneath. And then the last thing that we've got to do is we've got to check the dropout spacing, and then just recheck the rear alignment. And then finally we've just got to put a couple of braze-ons on the bottom bracket for the cable tunnels and run the taps through. And now this frame is ready to pack up and send back to the customer. So hopefully you found that video informative, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, or if there's anything particular you'd like to see as part of our process, frame building or renovating old frames or anything, just let us know in the comments. And please subscribe, because we're going to be doing more videos like this. So see you next time.